Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this week's Headmasters blog. It's Friday, the 10th of February, and I'm going to start today by talking about this. This is our production, Return to the Forbidden Planet, which premiered at Nescott Theatre last night, the culmination of many weeks and months of hard work on behalf of all of the boys and girls and many of the teaching, administrative and support staff. Obviously, against the backdrop of COVID, we always felt as though it was going to be a calculated risk trying to be ambitious in staging a production of this ilk. Nonetheless, in spite of 4 absentees, including one of the very main characters with just 48 hours notice, in spite of the leading lady losing her voice midway through the production, we got through a wonderful performance, and I am so proud of all of the pupils for the way that firstly they embraced the challenge and taking to the stage, knowing that some of them were going to be taking on roles they'd practiced for, others taking on roles at very short notice, and even in some instances having to read the lines from a script and improvise with the singing and dancing. They were just amazing, and what it showed me is how much we have missed this aspect to our education in the last 2 years. It was imperative that we were able to put on this production and give the children a chance to shine in the way they did last night. Not just because it was an immensely accomplished and polished performance of a very ambitious production, but because exactly of their ability to be versatile, to accept a readiness of change. These are the kind of skill sets which I talk about all the time in differentiating young people who are going to be settled and successful in the world of work beyond the school gate. And their adaptability, their resilience, their ability to step into those roles in front of a packed audience in a full-on professional theatre really fills me with enormous confidence and pride, because it suggests that between home and school, we are getting an awful lot very, very right. And the good news is that we have the opportunity to see it all over again tonight. And I, for one, cannot wait. So well done to Mrs. Hawley. Well done to Miss Foster. Never knew you had such a great singing voice as well when you had to step in. Well done, everybody backstage. The set looked incredible as well. Even down to the ticket sales. The programme looked immensely professional. I think I speak for everybody in our school community when I just say we're really grateful that we had this opportunity. COVID notwithstanding, we were confident in our decision to run with this, and the boys and girls 110% vindicated that confidence in them. So well done. And as you can tell, we are all absolutely running on adrenaline. It was fantastic to behold. And if you haven't had the chance to see it last night, then I really hope that you are coming tonight, because there are no more tickets left, but you will be able to see the DVD. In other news, obviously we have our bank holiday in lieu of the Queen's Platinum Jubilee tomorrow. So after what promises to be a late night tonight, please do not turn up at the school gates tomorrow, because there will be no one here. It is incredibly important, I think, to recognise just what a wonderful role model Queen Elizabeth II is. When she acceded to the throne on the 6th of February 1952 as a very young lady, nobody could perhaps have foreseen that her reign was going to extend to 70 years plus, during which time she has, I understand, seen 170 Prime Ministers come and go from 32 different Commonwealth realms. She has seen war, she has seen turmoil within her own family and beyond, and yet she has been the voice of reason. She has been consistent, calm, measured. She is just an unbelievable individual, and we are incredibly fortunate to have her as our monarch. And I, on behalf of the Kingswood House community, extend my gratitude for her altruism, and for her steadfast demeanour that has in many ways held lots of things together whilst they've been proverbially crumbling around her. So well done to Queen Elizabeth, a wonderful role model obviously to our girls at the school, but indeed to us all. We have had a really fantastic science enrichment programme in this first half of term. You can read all about it in our newsletter. And next half of term, we are looking forward to some very exciting developments in ICT and sport, courtesy of Mrs. Webb and Mr. Hendry. So do look out for those. A reminder, please, that we are really needing to be tighter on punctuality in the mornings. Registration is a statutory obligation for us as schools. It is really difficult to do that accurately if people are coming in after 8:30. So we would like all of the pupils to be sat ready to learn in their forms at 8:30 sharp. If that is going to pose a problem to you for a logistical reason, please communicate with your form teacher or divisional head. You will also have read in the news about the Prime Minister's announcement in respect of COVID. Obviously, these developments will be communicated to you and what they mean from the school's point of view in terms of isolating. But what I can say is that we will continue after half term with the team's provision for pupils who have COVID and are asymptomatic only, in order to preserve the mental health and well-being of my teaching staff who have really gone the extra mile over the last few months. I think it's important that we are consistent in terms with the measures that are being applied on a national framework. So please do not be surprised if I re-emphasise that stance after half term. If you are ill, you are ill. If you are ill with COVID, you are ill. If you are away from school, you're away. And that is how it is going to be. If you're at home with COVID, but you are asymptomatic, then we will continue to offer you teams for the short-term future, and we will revise that again in due course. I think it's time just to increasingly step back towards a more normal level of service and expectation. Finally, we would like to wish Amanda Black and her fiancé Jack our very, very best wishes as they get married next week, I believe, on Valentine's Day. Amanda, on behalf of all of the pupils, parents, staff, governors here at Kingswood House, we hope that you and Jack have firstly a wonderful day and then a very, very happy and long and fulfilling marriage together, and we wish you well for that. Mentions in dispatches this week. Well done to Verity Fitzgibbon, who has got a kindness award from Mr. Clerk. Well done to Aidan, who has been nominated by Mrs. Lambert for good concentration. To Hugh Hunter, who has shown really good efforts and perseverance from learning at home from Miss Smith. Fraser Smith has been nominated by Miss Forbes for really working hard to become more independent. Freddie Latimer has come back to school with a very sensible attitude, reports Miss Sumners. And Ben Scudamore has worked hard on his French for Madame Swift. Oliver Rosendale, well done for being helpful and kind to another boy, says Madame Swift. Lily Rose, despite sometimes having her ups and downs, she is still smiling and being very positive. Well done to you from Mrs. Lindley. Indigo Daisley, very good approach in maths for Mr. Farmer. Aurelia Gladwell, working well on teams, not only joining the lessons on time, but offering very insightful opinions too. Well done also from Mr. Westcott to Aurelia, Dolly, Bertie and Aaron for impressing him during their hockey. Zach Middleton, really good focus in lessons. Tommy Van Mallet, positivity around the school from Mr. Barrett. George Eddington is doing very well with his pie charts for Mr. Farmer. Akshita Thakur has had a really good start in 7BL. Great to see, says Miss Black, and also Mrs. Webb is very pleased with your early work in computer science. Zach Garcia continues to impress in 7BL, and Alyssa, well done to you. You've been very supportive of Akshita in her first couple of days. Henry Rusco pushing himself hard in maths, and Mr. Barrett has noticed that Freddie Taylor and Dylan Newman are exhibiting a very technical term, lots of extra oomph at the moment. Freya Kruger being very kind, again supporting with Akshita settling into the school, says Miss Patel. The whole form of Joan shown in general, great camaraderie, and it's lovely for Miss Patel to see them bonding as a group. Sammy Wood, despite being unwell, he has written a great horror story at home and blew Mrs. Bray away with his linguistic technicalities. Pippa Taylor's been listening to good advice and producing good prep for Madame Taylor. And Miss Webb is very happy with Finley Rosendale, Harrison West and James Dowling for their efforts in ICT. Well done to Will Harverson in 8F. He is the memory champion of the week, says Mrs. Lindley. James McDowell has put a lot of effort into his famous scientist presentation, and Mrs. Hornstetter is very pleased with all of ATEL for their history revision in advance of their exams after half term. Well done to the Form 8T, says Madame Taylor. They were very sensible during the recent fire alarms that we had. There were lots of false alarms this time last week, and they were very grown up. And well done to Max Wassif, who's also settled in very well in the last week, demonstrating a good character and future potential. Zachary Fitzgibbon, well done to you, being reflective, reacting on the whole to difficult situations calmly. I don't think we're quite 100% there yet, Zachary, but that's a work in progress, so I'll be watching that carefully. Tobias Van Hennigan, hard work in science from you, says Miss Black. Ozzy Sullivan, Oscar Davino contributing well in PSHE, says Mr. Hendry. And Nathan Ashwell is the Year 9 Memory Champion of the Week, reports Mrs. Lindley. Well done, Ollie Ward, who was caught being good to a lower prep boy recently. They had a little chat, and then Ollie gave him a high five, and it made this little chat today. So well done, says Mrs. Hornstetter. And Rory Fitzpatrick continues to create a very good impression with his standard of computer science homework for Mrs. Webb. Well done to Jess Dunn. 2 nominations for you this week as our senior girl role model. Firstly, from Mrs. Hornstetter, who has received lots of positive feedback about Jess's work in lessons. And secondly, from Mrs. O'Shea, along with Pete Duncan, for their excellent work ethic during a study period, particularly about An Inspector Calls, which is one of my very favourite plays. And well done to Folu. Not only is he working hard in every lesson, but boy, he is something to see on the stage. Unbelievable, Folu. Well done to you. Ted Hartley and Max Garrett, really good contributions to PSHE from Mrs. Weston. Ian Abdul, Joe Seeger, Ishmael Mohammed, really good results in their end of unit test for computer science. Well done from Mr. Bailey to all of the boys in his Form 11B for their contribution to the play and still working hard on their DT coursework. Ewan Walker continues to show excellent endeavour across the curriculum, especially in science from Miss Black. Ryan Luneman, well done for being punctual in the mornings, for being helpful and kind to Mrs. Wraith. Eddie Fisher and Ryan again have been nominated for their excellent competition work with the Memory Champion of the Week. Both have completed over 220 extra questions on top of their homework, so well done to you from Mrs. Lindley. Owen Fisher has made a real effort lately to be more organised, and it may coincidentally have something to do with him also receiving a very good college, a successful application. So well done to you, Owen, and well done to Joe Offen, Daniel Edrew, Sam Squire and Ewan Walker for their work on teams, especially in computer science. But Theo Spick in particular has really made an extra effort when he's had to be isolating and learning from home. He has absolutely showed why he is our senior head boy, so well done to you, Theo. And finally, congratulations to Hugo Davis, who has won a music award to Ewell Castle School for Sixth Form. So well done to you, Hugo. So just a reminder, everybody, that after tonight's performance of Return to the Forbidden Planet, I hope you're all able to get there, and I will see you there. There is no school tomorrow. It is a bank holiday in lieu. It's the start of half term. I hope you all manage to put your feet up, have some great family time, and return for what promises to be a very eventful and exciting few weeks ahead for the second half of the spring term, which will start, for the record, at 8:30 a.m. on Monday, the 21st of February. In the meantime, take care, keep safe, and have a wonderful half term.